are back on Rainsbygard. Now, it's a beautiful sunny spring day today, and I thought I'd make a quick video, tell you about, well, since it's spring, we're going to be shearing the sheep today, or we're going to have some guys come in and shear for us. We don't know what we're doing, so that's standard. So what we're going to do today before shearing, which I'll show you a little bit of that later on in the video, but what I really want to show you and talk about today is I think the importance of cheap, easy, simple and scalable infrastructure on the farm, particularly when you're starting up a new enterprise like we are. I mean, we're newbies, so everything is new in farming for us, but we're going to be starting, well, we started with sheep, and we don't know whether we're any good with sheep. We don't know whether we're good with anything. So I think it's important to have scalable and affordable infrastructure like fencing, housing, and basically it's important to be able to do things yourself, I think, because then you don't get too deep in debt when you're just starting out, which I think is, for me, it's really important. And Joel Salatin, whom I've studied a lot and looked into his way of doing things, he's a big proponent of that, of not getting in too deep financially before you really sort out whether you're A, good at something, or B, passionate about something. So yeah, anyway, enough of my rabbiting on. Here is my ramshackle shed. In Norwegian they call this a fjøs. This is a house that you put your sheep in over the winter. Now, as we discussed, we don't have, we have sheep that spend their whole life outside. They choose to go in every now and then. Right now, we've got them inside here. Hey girls. And they're waiting to get shorn later on today when the Welsh fellas turn up to shear them for us. So we locked them in last night because they need to fast a little bit. Otherwise, they just keep eating grass. Yep, so we've only built this because we want them to have some kind of shelter to go to when there are, when the weather's inclement, windy, rainy, etc. Other than that, as we've said in the previous video, they're out here. They're out on this pasture and they're grazing. And doesn't matter if it's -10, mostly a little bit of wind, a little bit of rain, they're out here as well. And here we go, it's a result of some bale grazing. It's just a little bit of grass here and there, which will, in the springtime, is going to get mixed in with incorporated with everything. Yeah, so with the cheap infrastructure, this whole building, and look, I know it looks a bit terrible at the moment because I've just screwed some boards to the front of it. It doesn't normally look like this. I'll put a picture in here of what it looks like when it's in its normal operating phase, which is just a three-sided building. Over here as well, and look, once again, this is not master carpentry, obviously. This is just a very basic structure made out of pallets. This is a like a corralling yard, so we needed to ear tag them. So you need something to manage them. So I built this. Yeah, look, it's not pretty, but geez, it works. And the main thing with this structures, or these structures, is that they all costed nothing. They cost me nothing. Well, sorry, I paid for the screws. So I paid a couple of thousand kroner for some screws. Everything else was free, just my time, my labor. And all this wood, so these are all pallets, obviously. Everyone can see that. These things, they're called e-bjelke in Norwegian. they're used to when you're putting buildings together, but they're all perfectly good. They're very, very strong. It's like a piece of ply with a MDF type layer between it, but they're very weather resistant and they're free. You can go and get these for free from many building suppliers. And this whole thing took me about 3 weeks to build. I've never really built anything before, which you might be able to see. But, you know, I've got some log supporting struts here. Let's get in here. This is where the shearing is going to take place. Yes. Hello, girls. Yes, you lovely girl. Aren't you? Yes. You're a bit shyer. Yeah, so you can see I made the roof out of these E-Bielka. I've got big struts of them here. I've got these logs here. Yeah, and me as a novice, completely not useless, but definitely not a trained carpenter or master craftsman, was able to build this, and it's strong. This has been, we had over 25 meters per second winds around Christmas and New Year time. That is, from memory, that's around 40 knots of wind, which as a Queenslander where we have cyclones, that's crazy. That's a crazy amount of wind, and this thing didn't move. I was out here in it. Anyway, I'm proud of it, but we're going to have to pull it all down in a few months. We're going to move it to a higher part of the field, and then we're going to build another one next to it, and another one next to it, another one next to it, until we have enough space for keeping 200 sheep over winter. But the best thing is it's scalable. I can pull it down. It's modular. I can pull it down. I can put it up there. I can build onto it, and it's cost me nothing. So, oh sorry, there's some hinges here. I think these cost about $5 or $10 for these sets of hinges. So, yeah, there's a little bit of cost, but really, we were looking at spending 60,000 kroner on a like a greenhouse to put them in initially, and we just went, what's the point? Anyway, check back in with us. We're going to do some shearing in here soon, and you can get a look at that if you're interested. Okay, so a little update. The the shearing isn't going to happen today. There's been a mix-up with the shearer, and he's not going to make it here. So we're going to take advantage, and we're going to clip the nails of the sheep, which we've never done before either, obviously, because we know nothing. And yeah, we'll give that a go now instead. Let's go over. Now that's better, isn't it, buddy? It's okay. It's okay. Okay? Yep. Let's clip your nails. Come on, champion. Let's do your nails. Ah, yeah. Yes. Yeah, I know it's a bit stressful. It's a bit stressful. We're gonna get it done nice and quick. Okay. Over you go. Up this way, big boy. Over this way. Over here, sir. So, we're really going to have a standoff about this? Yay! Whew, that took nearly 9 minutes to cut one, so I think we're going to have to get some new trimmers here. These ones are a little bit heavy duty and difficult to manage. Anyway. So yeah, here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5 bags of fleece. Pretty questionable quality. However, we can use it as garden mulch on our kitchen garden. And I will have a video for that coming up soon, when it gets a bit warmer. If you feel like it, you can subscribe and you'll get a notification about when we do have videos like that coming out. Cheers. So it's a week ago that we tried to shear the sheep. There was a mix-up. Anyway, so they've been sheared today, as you can see. Pretty skinny, pathetic looking sheep, as we've all seen sheared sheep before. And rolled out some fresh grass here with the our ATV and the bale unroller this time round. And that's another video, so tune in for that one. There's been some issues with bale unrolling, but yeah, on the whole, pretty happy with the way everything worked. Obviously won't go into shearing too much because everyone knows what that involves. But like I said at the start of the video, I think it's really important to have cheap, useful, modular, scalable infrastructure like sheds, fencing, that you can build yourself for cheap with scraps like I have. That way you're not in too deep. If we ever change our mind and want to move out of sheep, we can. We're not like millions of krona in debt. As far as that goes, you know, we can choose another enterprise at any time. Anyway, thanks heaps for tuning in, and yeah, we'll see what happens next time. Thanks for your time.